Yo, what's going on? Hopefully everyone is having a great day today so far. It's currently about uh, 5 minutes till 2, and just wanted to drop some information to you guys, just to keep you guys aware of the scams and the facade that this country, continues to project upon the people here, the common folk in particular. And we're talking about taxation, right? Now, taxation at one point in time was really based off of good faith and contribution. If we take it all the way back to the ancient Egypt times in Africa, at that time, aka Kemet, the basic laws that was set out when it came to taxation. Now, ancient Egypt had in perspective a taxation, but their taxation was really made in good faith of you contributing to the community, to the society, and the community and society in return provides for you, right? Now, that was taken away from ancient Egypt and twisted around in so many different factors over the centuries. And up until today, what we see with taxation is inevitably foul play. I seen a thread where a lady has said that originally when taxation was put into place here in the United States, it was set at 3%. And now the common folk people are paying over 37% in taxes, right? When that comes to the income tax, and then when it comes to the sales tax, when it comes to the federal tax, state tax, anything that you can think of, there is a taxation attached to it. Now, the crazy part about it is that people overlook these things. They completely overlook these things. And it's vital that you stop doing that, and start to really focus and key in on these people are trying to screw you over. Because that is a big source or a big cut in your revenue. If you take home a certain amount off your paycheck and they're just consistently taking that out of your paycheck, and it goes to, their black budget funds, it's like, you're getting robbed, and this is just in perspective of taxation alone. I mean, you do got what they call inflation, funflation, stealthflation, stagflation. You got the tariffs now, and the list goes on. So, as I named all of those different taxations, you just sit here and wonder why, outside of all of the other robberies, you sit here and wonder why you can never get ahead in this country. You sit here and wonder why that you are paycheck to paycheck every single time you get paid, is because the system has been designed to keep you in this box, whether you wanted to recognize it or not. You've been designed to be systematically kept in a box, so that way you can't really excel, or too many people can't excel, because if that was the case and you were able to excel on a financial basis, like 80% of everybody, then those 80% of people would not want to work for the elites and the oligarchs. So it all makes sense in retrospect. They must keep you down in order for them to continue to collect, all of the taxation money, for them to collect all of the profits that they have, and to keep you working in this ever-going cycle that's never going to end. And then some people believe that at the end of their working career, they have done it all, and now it's time to reap the benefits because you've worked for 50 plus years. And then that's just not the case. When it's time for you to retire and you realize that you got massive amount of penalties on your 401ks and all of this, the IRAs and all that. When you realize the massive amount of penalties that you have, that you're going to also have to be taxated off of that situation, you're going to realize that you're not going to even have the largest percent of the money that you earned over those 50 plus years. So once you get to that point and then you retire, you're going to find yourself within that next 2 to 3 year period back at work again. And in all truth, that's what you see today with so many of these elderly people and older people. They're sitting here driving Ubers, and they're doing DoorDash, and they're doing Uber Eats, and it's because that was what had happened. They didn't have the necessary funds in order to match today's society with taxation and inflation and all of that shit like that, let alone the knowledge in order to have invested very, very early. And when I say very early, I don't mean like 5 to 10 years ago, because the people that are hustling you when it comes to the stock market and all of that shit, 5 to 10 years ago, they've just been getting people to join them, and they've been using the people's money to join them in order to progress their situation. But the people that made the real money in the stock market started way earlier than that. I'm talking about decades upon decades ago, 2000s to the 90s, 80s, 70s, and 60s. That's where the stock market money has been made. Ever since then, the shit has just been on a complete flat line. And it's been completely even as inflation has been going up, as the dollar has been declining. Now, I know it's a lot of information to take in, but, the truth is the truth. That's why you see more and more traffic in LA, because more and more people got to work. They have to get out on the grind. Like, I remember on Saturdays when it was time to get to it, you can kind of fly through the highway, kind of clearly, you can go, clear through the highway. Now, if you get onto the highways on the 405, the 105, the 710, if you get on the freeway on a Saturday, you can expect to be there for fucking 2 hours, depending on where you're at. That's because people have to consistently get back to work. And everything that I'm telling you is all a result of those specific things. So the sad part about it is that many people still don't see this, but they feel it, and they just don't know why. And they just keep convincing themselves that if they keep working hard and ignore the situation, at some point the system is going to turn around for them. At some point, Jesus Christ is going to come back and help them get out of their situation. And then 40 years from now, you realize that the same thing happened to you that happened to your mother, that happened to your grandparents, that happened to your great grandparents. It's all been the same shit. So this place has systematically been designed to keep you into this box on a financial basis in order for you to consistently provide for the elites and the oligarchs. And as far as time continues to go, if they keep the bullshit up, this place is going to fall, because there's not going to be enough to go around at all for the people or the common folk at the bottom. It's going to collapse. You can't have the elites and the oligarchs sucking up all the profit and the revenue and the money and giving crumbs to the common folk and expect for it to consistently move forward. Like I said, in ancient Egypt, that was not the result for taxation. It was for you to contribute to your community, right, in a righteous manner. And as your community grows, it contributes back to you. But that's not the same method that Western society has. They've took that model and they said, all right, you're going to do for me and just do for me. That's all it's ever been. do for me, and then you do for me. Because there's no structural returns. You could barely buy a house. You could you're always paycheck to paycheck. Healthcare is another one where people can't even afford healthcare, right? If people get their utilities turned off, you know what I'm saying? You have to pay, reconnection fees and this, that, and the third in order to get your gas and electric back on. It's like they completely fucked the end result as to what that was supposed to be. And that's just the gist of it. If you guys think that I'm lying, you can go and do the research as what I was talking about as the model of the taxation that came from ancient Egypt, because everything in Western society has copied everything from ancient Egypt, from the Greeks to the Romans to the Turks to the Arabs, and to the modern Arabs today. Copied from structure to laws. Okay, so go check that out, man. If you're new to this channel, thank you for rocking with me. Now remember, like and subscribe so we can continue pushing out the truth and knowledge. And remember, the truth is in session. Peace.